Hello and welcome to part 2 of our WA Perth to Esperance road trip. You join me as we have just driven from Esperance to Bremer Bay. So that was about 4.5 hours. It's a long way. It's a long drive in itself, like 4 hours driving, but driving just in a straight road where you don't really see other cars is quite tiring. But we've got to our campsite, we've plugged into power. I think we're going to have some lunch and then wander into town. The weather's not great today, so we chose the perfect day yesterday to go to Esperance. Like, I could not have had better weather. Today would have still been nice, but it wouldn't have been as nice. So yes, we were very lucky with the weather yesterday, and we're only here for one night. So apparently there's a town in walking distance, Danny said, so we might have a look at that. First things first in the mornings, make the bed. Good morning, you join me. We have just left Bremer Bay. Now, there's not much to do in Bremer Bay, so we packed up pretty quickly. We had some breakfast and we are back on the road. I am driving this part. It's only a 2-hour drive to Albany from Bremer Bay. We have been staying in powered, like, caravan parks, but tonight is our first one where we're not staying in a powered area. So I'm a bit nervous, but it should be fine. We're also looking forward to it as well because it will be nice to not have to rely on power. Yeah, I will catch you when we're in Albany. We've just arrived at our campsite at Albany. I was saying earlier that we weren't going to stay in a powered site, and we originally were going to go to one that was like $15. It was kind of just like someone's field that you just pay just to park in overnight. But then we decided we're going to go to this beach tomorrow, which looks really nice, and it's going to be really warm. Oh, Danny's calling. Sorry, you need the code for the bathroom. But as I was saying, we were going to go to this one campsite, and then we decided we're going to go to this beach tomorrow, so we'll choose somewhere a bit closer to that beach, so then we don't have longer to drive in the morning. Anyway, that's kind of irrelevant. We found this campsite and it's still unpowered, so this is our first night and only night that's unpowered. So we only have use of like the gas and the water power that we've got stored, but we can't use like our toaster, our microwave, things like that. But that's fine because we've just got food that we can cook on the hob. But as we were driving into Albany, Danny was like, I'd love to see a wild kangaroo. And at last night's accommodation, there was lots of droppings which I thought were too big for rabbits. So I was like, there must be kangaroos around here, but we didn't see any. As we were driving into this campsite, let me show, I mean, you can see behind me, it's just lovely, flat, green grass. We're by a lake. It's just the most gorgeous campsite. I'll find out what it's called again, I can't remember right now. But as we were driving in, I said to Danny, this looks so much like where kangaroos would live, and I hope we see some. We pulled over, there is so many just sat laying in the shade. Little Joey's there, and we just got to see them jump around, so we're going to go for a little walk now and have a look at them properly. Just set up our chairs, and yeah, we're here for the night. So everything happens for a reason, and I like to remind myself of that. And then when something happens like this, you're like, oh, it was meant to be, because I never thought I'd stay somewhere where there's literally kangaroos on our garden like outside our camper van. So I'm hoping in the morning they'll be right outside and we can eat our breakfast with them. But if not, we've seen them and we're going to go and take another walk to have a further investigation. But so far I wasn't too highly impressed with Bremer Bay. Albany is actually a city, which I didn't know. Again, it's very much of like a sleeper beach town, but the surrounding areas are gorgeous, and the beach that we're hopefully going tomorrow is really nice. So fingers crossed, because it's meant to be super hot tomorrow, like 32 degrees, and then we've got a really long drive to Augusta. So far, loving it. I think seeing the kangaroos has just made us really happy, because yesterday and this morning the weather was a bit rubbish and we were both feeling a bit kind of like not much to do in these towns. We don't just want to waste our day driving somewhere, so we kind of want to explore as well. And now we've just come across these lovely kangaroos and joeys. It's made us both very excited. Just to quickly say, this place is called Calgon River Chalet and like motorhome place, and it was about 45 for an unpowered site. They've both, a lot of the sites have been around like $83 per night, kind of give or take, but this one, because it's unpowered, is 43. We are going to have pesto pasta and some little bits of bacon, which I'm very excited about. As I said, this is our first night not cooking with like any electricity, which we've been fine with so far. Like, we've obviously had lunch and made food where we've just been at the beach, so we haven't needed electricity, so we're fine. And also it's a bit cheaper to stay somewhere where it doesn't have electricity, but we've still got showers and toilets, which I think is so good. Anyway, I'm going to get started on this and quickly do this before the sun comes down, because then we only have our fairy lights for lighting. I'm so excited to eat. I'm very hungry, even though I had such a good burger. That was like our second time eating out since we've actually been in this van, which I think is so good. Like, we've really tried to make good use of being in a camper van that has kind of everything we need. Bon appetit. I don't know if you can see, but that's a kangaroo. Hello, as you can probably tell, it is later in the evening. I'm now in my pajamas. We have just arrived at Augusta. It was a very long drive here. It took us about 4 hours and a half, but we made it. Let me just shut this. That'll be better. We made it. It was a smooth journey. We kind of shared it between us. It's just very long, straight roads, but we made it. I've just had a shower, which feels so nice. As you saw, we stumbled across this like little beach. It's actually called Little Beach. Originally we were going to either drive up here early in the morning because it's a long drive, and then find somewhere to swim here, or find somewhere to swim near Albany. Augusta, Albany, they kind of, I keep getting them too confused, but we ended up choosing somewhere near Albany. Danny found this really cool place that you saw that we went to on TikTok, and it was just amazing. When we first got there, we were the only people there like on the beach. There was some rock fishing men going about their fishing lives, but yeah, it was gorgeous. I mean, we've just been so lucky with the weather. Every time we just go to these gorgeous beaches, it just seems to be lovely, and we just had a nice relaxing morning before the long drive. So we felt very rested, and yeah, the drive didn't go too bad. We listened to a few podcasts, and then we arrived at our campsite. And then this is our last campsite because we are very kindly and luckily staying with a friend's family. So for the next 3 days we're going to stay in their garden with our van and have a bit of fun in Margaret River. Well, our friend and my boyfriend's coming down to meet us, and it should be a lot of fun. The plan is to go to lots of wineries, and yeah, this is our last proper night in the van. It's had the best time. We've also been so lucky with the campsites. I mean, all the bathrooms, like the showers, have all been so lovely. A few have had Wi-Fi, not the best. This one doesn't have Wi-Fi, but we are powered tonight. So it means that we can use the microwave, and we're going to have a hot chocolate. No kangaroos at this one, but doesn't matter because we saw them yesterday and that was just amazing. I don't think you can top that. We really were so lucky with seeing them, and especially as we weren't planning on staying there originally, it just worked out perfectly. And I'll catch you tomorrow. And went to a really cute cafe, and then we've been told to come and see some stingrays, so we're going to have a look, and then we're heading to Margaret River. Can you?
Yeah. Oh my god, that is a thick chocolate.
I don't know what this is. Oh, Danny. Not the snakes. We have arrived at Margaret River. We got here last night and we were just saying hi to my friend's family and seeing Liv and Matt, and yeah, just had a really lovely evening. We had a barbecue and some wines. Into the main town of Margaret River to go to the bakery, which I'm very excited about, and then maybe a swim. But this garden and their place is just gorgeous. I'll show you a bit more later, but they have an outdoor shower. Bakery! Thank you. Good morning. We have just arrived at the beach. It is our second to last day on our road trip, which I'm very, very sad about. So we got up and we went to the bakery again and just had some lovely jam donuts, and now we are at what this beach is called. What's this beach called? At Meelup Beach, I think that's how you say it. Just had a little swim, and we're going to go to some more wine tastings because Margaret River is so good for wine tastings.
We're not really.
We've done it. Hi, we're recording on the Digi. We have just arrived at, what's it called? Canal Rocks. We've just been to a winery, had a lovely tour, and now we're going to go for dinner. Olivia's recording on her little Digicam.
Hi, who is this guy? We don't know.
It's Matt here, tour guide, Uber driver.
Tour guide and chauffeur. And then this is us in the wonderful Canal Rocks.
I am so bad at ending videos. We ended up going to quite a few wineries the last 3 days of our trip, and I didn't pick up my phone loads, and I also didn't end the video, which is really bad, so I'm going to end it now. We drove from Margaret River, which is about 3 hours, back to Perth, dropped our van off, and all we had to do was fill up the petrol. Our van wasn't very dirty. As I said, we hadn't used the bathroom or the shower. And it was all good. We just handed the keys back, and yeah, Danny flew home, which I'm really sad about, but we just had the best time. So thank you so much for watching part 2, and I hope it's inspired you to go on a trip yourself, because if you have the chance, do it.